Here is some information about reference documents for insulating rubber mats. Firstly, there are IEEE standards, specifically IEEE Standard 107.2020, which is the IEEE standard for uninsulated and insulated overhead lines, as well as IEEE Standard 1159.2019, the IEEE standard for the installation of air conditioning and ventilating systems. Secondly, there are ANSI standards like ANSI Z535.4 1998, the safety standard for electrical insulating matting for use near electrical apparatus, and ANSI/UL 943.2013, which is the standard for safety grounding and bonding equipment. Thirdly, NFPA standards exist, including NFPA 70/2021, the standard for electrical safety in the workplace, and NFPA 70B 2020, the recommended practice for electrical equipment maintenance. Fourthly, there are OSHA regulations, specifically OSHA 29 CFR 1910.303 and G3, which cover general requirements for electrical equipment, and OSHA 29 CFR 1910.332 or 3, which addresses safety-related grounding. Fifthly, there are other standards and guidelines from organizations such as the International Labour Organization (ILO), with their safety and health in electrical work, ILO OSH guidelines, the National Electrical Contractors Association (NECA), and their electrical rubber matting guidelines, and the Electrical Safety Foundation International (SV), with their electrical mat guidelines. Now let's discuss when to use insulating rubber mats. While no specific standard explicitly mandates when to use insulating mats, the following factors can guide your decision. Firstly, consider the presence of energized conductors. Mats should be used where workers may come into contact with exposed or energized electrical equipment. Secondly, think about electrical potential difference. Mats can help reduce the risk of electrical shock by creating an insulating barrier between the worker and the ground or other surfaces. Thirdly, consider wet or conductive environments. Mats provide additional protection against electrical hazards in areas where moisture or conductive materials are present. Fourthly, consider the risk of accidental contact. Mats can prevent inadvertent contact with live electrical components, especially in crowded or busy work areas. Fifthly, think about specific job requirements. Some jobs, such as electrical maintenance or troubleshooting, may require the use of insulating mats to ensure worker safety. When justifying the placement of insulating mats, consider the following factors. Firstly, perform a hazard assessment. Identify electrical hazards in the work area and assess the potential for worker contact. Secondly, outline risk mitigation strategies. Explain how the use of mats will mitigate the identified electrical hazards. Thirdly, reference applicable regulations and standards. Cite relevant standards and regulations that support the need for insulating mats. Fourthly, cite best practices and industry guidelines. Use industry-recognized guidelines or best practices that recommend the use of mats in similar situations.